The story of Sara. I never give up on learning English. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Sara. She lived in a small town in Brazil. Since she was a little girl, Sara loved to learn new things. She always asked her parents questions about the world, but there was one thing Sara wanted to learn more than anything. She wanted to learn English. In her small town, not many people spoke English. Sara's school only offered one English class a week, and she found it difficult to practice, but Sara was determined. She knew that learning English would open doors to new opportunities, new cultures, and new friendships. Chapter 1. The First Steps. When Sara was 12, she decided to start learning English on her own. She asked her parents if they could buy her an English dictionary. Sara used the dictionary to look up words and practice pronunciation. At first, learning English was exciting. She wrote down new words in a notebook and tried to use them every day. Words like apple, house, and school were easy for her. One day, Sara's teacher introduced the class to simple sentences like, "My name is Sara and I like apples." Sara loved these lessons because she could finally say more than just words. She could say full sentences. But soon, Sara realized that English was more difficult than she thought. The grammar confused her, and some words sounded the same but had different meanings. Sara began to feel frustrated. Chapter 2. Challenges along the way. As Sara grew older, she faced more challenges with English. At school, her classmates sometimes made fun of her mistakes. One day, while speaking in front of the class, Sara tried to say, "I like to play soccer," but instead said, "I like to play socks." Everyone laughed, and Sara felt embarrassed. After that, Sara didn't want to practice speaking in front of people. She thought, maybe I'm not good at learning languages, maybe I should give up. But deep inside, Sara still loved English. She remembered her dream of traveling and meeting new people. So even though she felt embarrassed, she didn't give up. She practiced at home by herself, repeating words and sentences until they felt natural. She also started watching cartoons in English with subtitles. Slowly, she began to understand more and more. Chapter 3. A New Way to Learn. One day, Sara's older brother introduced her to a language learning app on his phone. The app had fun games and exercises to practice vocabulary and grammar. Sara loved it. She started using the app every day, even if it was just for 10 minutes. She learned new words like mountain, adventure, and explore. She also practiced speaking by repeating the sentences she heard in the app. Even though she still made mistakes, the app gave her confidence because it showed her how much she was improving. Sara also began listening to English music. She tried to sing along, even if she didn't understand all the words. She found that this helped her improve her pronunciation, and it made learning more fun. Chapter 4. A Big Challenge. When Sara turned 16, her school announced that there would be a regional English competition. Students from all over the region would come together to take part in an English-speaking contest. The winner would receive a scholarship to an English language school in the city. Sara wanted to participate, but she felt nervous. What if I make a mistake? What if everyone laughs at me again? She thought. But then she remembered how much she loved learning English. She remembered how far she had come since she first started with simple words. She thought about her dream of one day traveling to English-speaking countries. So, despite her fear, Sara signed up for the competition. Chapter 5. Facing her fear. On the day of the competition, Sara stood in front of a large audience. Her hands were shaking, and her heart was racing. She took a deep breath and began to speak. "Hello, my name is Sara. Today, I want to talk about my journey learning English." At first, she felt nervous, but as she continued, she remembered all the hard work she had put into learning the language. She spoke about the challenges she faced, like making mistakes in front of her classmates, but she also talked about how she never gave up. she shared her love for English music and how she used the language app to improve her skills. By the time she finished her speech, the audience clapped loudly. Sara couldn't believe it. She had done it. Even though she had been nervous, she didn't let her fear stop her. Chapter 6: A Reward for Persistence. A few days later, Sara's teacher called her to the front of the class and handed her an envelope. Inside was a letter saying that she had won second place in the English competition. Sara couldn't believe it. She felt proud of herself for not giving up, even when learning English had been hard. With the scholarship she won, Sara was able to attend an English language school in the city. There, she met students from other towns and even from different countries. She practiced speaking with them every day, and her confidence grew. Chapter 7: A New Beginning. As the years passed, Sara's English continued to improve. She traveled to different countries and used English to make friends from all over the world. Whenever she faced a challenge, she remembered her journey and how important it was to never give up. One day, Sara returned to her hometown to visit her old school. Her teacher invited her to speak to the new students about her experience learning English. Sara stood in front of the classroom and smiled. "When I first started learning English, I made many mistakes," she said. "There were times when I felt like giving up, but I kept going because I believed in my dream. Learning English opened many doors for me, and it can do the same for you. Just remember, never give up." The students listened closely. Inspired by Sara's story, they knew that if Sara could do it, they could too. Conclusion: Sara's story teaches us that learning a language is not always easy. There will be challenges, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But if you keep practicing, stay patient, and never give up, you will succeed. Like Sara, you can achieve your dreams and open doors to new opportunities through hard work and determination. The journey may be long, but every step forward brings you closer to your goal. So whenever you feel discouraged, just remember Sara's story and keep going.